horns?
Yes.
I'm just going to go through a few topics that may have been talked about already, but just in regards to the cartridges. The Taser 7 device that we have at issue here was equipped with 2 cartridges. Is that correct?
That's correct.
In order to discharge or fire a cartridge or the probes out of a cartridge, the user pulls the trigger. Is that right?
That's correct.
And each cartridge holds 2 probes. Is that correct?
That's correct. I refer them to as a top probe and a bottom probe.
Okay. And those probes are attached to wires, which attach back to the taser, back to the device. Is that a fair way to say it? If I fire the probes, there's a wire connecting the probes back to the Taser 7 device. Is that right?
For the most part, the wires physically attached to the cartridge, and the cartridge is clipped into the weapon. So there's the wires aren't. I wouldn't say it's technically correct that the wires are attached to the Taser 7 like physically, but they're clipped in via the cartridge.
Exactly. Good point. Thank you. And if we pull the trigger, both probes are deployed, electrical energy begins flowing to the probes. Is that a general way of saying it?
Yes, but I hesitate on.
I'll be honest. I didn't even remember that they charged this officer with this. I didn't even remember they charged him. I'm not surprised. Many of you guys may or may not remember this. Clearly, I'm not going to show the whole video, but we covered this live when it did happen. I'm not going to show the whole video. I'm just going to show you some of it. Oh, wait. I got to get to... Hopefully this fucking thing doesn't freeze on me. It may have just for fucking... Yep, it did. It fucking froze. Oh, no. Oh, my gosh. Here, I'll show... I gotta make sure I don't show... I don't want YouTube to take this down. Yeah, see? That's why I can't show that. Showing him getting shot. Can't do that. Alright, so here. You guys remember this now. Once you see this, you're gonna remember. Oh, I gotta make it full screen so it'll play. See, remember, he was fighting with him. He was a passenger in this car. He got out of the car. The officer tried to tell him to go back into the car because it was a regular traffic stop. He kept resisting arrest. They end up going all the way across the yard. He tries to deploy his taser, and yeah, I'm not showing any more of this video because YouTube will take this shit down. But that's this case. Did anyone remember this case? Because I didn't remember it, but now you do.
And if the 2 probes fired make contact with a person, then is it fair to say this closes the circuit? Is that how you would refer to it? Closing a circuit to allow the energy to flow between the probes?
Yeah,
this is an evidentiary hearing. This hearing is meant to determine whether there's probable cause. That's what this hearing is for.
Contact the skin. Because of the high voltage, there is potential for it to close the circuit without physical contact of the probe.
Okay, thank you. And I might elaborate on that in a moment here, but I'd like to turn to another topic now, and that's the term re-energizing. Now, probes are fired. If they make proper contact with a target, then the energy flows, the current flows for 5 seconds. Is that correct?
Yeah, there's a default 5-second duration to the activation.
Now, are those probes, you may have talked about this already, but probes have already been fired, 5 seconds goes. Those probes are capable of being re-energized. Is that right?
That's correct.
And so if I fired my first cartridge and I want to fire my second cartridge now, I pull the trigger on the second cartridge. That also re-energizes the probes from the first cartridge. Is that correct?
Yes, it's a technology that we call adaptive cross-connect. There's a lot of complexity in it, but yes, the deployment of cartridge 2 will also reactivate the cartridge 1.
Now, backing up, if I fire cartridge 1 and I don't want to fire cartridge 2, but I would like to re-energize those probes, can I simply touch or push the arc button on the side of the device? Will that re-energize the probes from cartridge 1?
That's correct.
So I want to talk about this cross connect a little more. In order to achieve the cross connect, I can press the arc buttons or I can pull the trigger to re-energize probes. Is that correct? Or am I mixing up a couple of different things there?
Could you state it again?
Sure. Let's put it this way, if both cartridges are deployed and I either press the arc button and the arc button is on either side of the device, is that right?
Correct.
And I could press it on either side or pull the trigger, so long as those probes are still attached by wire, that would re-energize all 4 of the probes from both cartridges.
That is correct.
And could you explain, if I come in contact with 2 of those probes, and I believe you already explained, the probes don't have to be touching the skin necessarily to have the energy flow to me. Is that fair to say?
That's correct.
If I come in contact with 2 of the probes, the arc button gets pressed, the trigger gets pulled, the circuit thus gets closed, then I may be at risk of the circuit closing and potentially suffering NMI. Is that fair to say?
That's fair to say, but it's kind of limited as well, because I want to include the wires that are attached to the probes. They are insulated. However, they are very thin and fragile. And we have to make them that way in order to fit them into the probe and allow the probe to travel. Any thick, if it's too thick, it's not going to travel far, and you won't be able to fit the wire in there. That wire is easily damaged. So if it's stepped on or anything that could damage that thin insulation, that could allow the electricity to flow from the wire to you. So for instance, if you have wire wrapped around you, but you're not near the probes, you could still potentially experience NMI from electricity traveling through the wire.
So even contact with the wire potentially in the arc switch is arc switch is pressed or the trigger is pulled, the potential is there that I could get, lack of a better word, I could get bit by the electricity. Is that right?
That's correct. In the training for law enforcement, they're trained to cuff under power, which means to be able to handcuff someone while they're experiencing NMI. But one thing they're trained at is to pay attention to where the wires are and to avoid touching the wires. And it's for that reason.
Sir, you saw the video here and already testified about that. But basically what we had here was a couple of individuals tussling round and round. Is that fair to say?
Yeah, that's a fair description.
And the taser had been discharged in the vicinity of where they're tussling around. Is that correct?
That's correct.
And I believe you note in your report from, perhaps it was shown right in the exhibit there, you pointed out that the probes are getting dragged around when they continue to tussle. Is that right?
That's correct.
And the probes have barbs on them. Is that right?
That's correct.
But you already acknowledged that the probes don't necessarily need to be penetrating skin in order to feel the effects of them. Is that correct?
That's correct.
Now, let's say I'm laying on the probes, or maybe even the wire, or kneeling on the probes or the wire, I'm tangled up in them, however it might be. Those barbs, if the arc switch is pressed or the trigger is pulled, I could have a circuit close on me. Is that fair?
Real quick, some updated news. There was a bus hijacking this morning in New York City with passengers on board. According to police, early this morning, a suspect walked up to a driver right around 9 o'clock in Queens in Cambria Heights on 199th Street and Linden Boulevard. He told the bus driver to open the door. The bus driver did. He then ordered the driver to drive. 7 passengers were on the bus. The driver actually leapt out of the window as they were driving. The hijacker took the wheel, drove a few blocks before he crashed into a utility pole near 234th Street. He is in custody. No major injuries. The only injury, actually, was a bus driver who jumped out of the window. He had minor injuries. Crazy. There's going to be a press conference later, and maybe I'll grab that. Because didn't someone say that New York City was safe?
That when administered on a
Not fucking safe.
also
Typical morning in New York City.
charge to that target. Is that a very generic way of stating it?
Yes.
And the shock or the charge is administered by touching or pushing the device on the target. Is that right?
Correct. The pushing the device onto the target is basically completing the circuit. So when you don't have 2 probes connected, you can complete that circuit by pressing the weapon against the person.
So I guess backing up to the scenario, I'm kneeling on a probe or perhaps even the wire. That's only 1 point of contact. If I get drive stunned, that makes 2 points, doesn't it? So that I might have the circuit closed on me and potentially suffer NMI?
That's correct.
And Axon, I believe we already talked about this, warns that the drive stun alone on certain sensitive parts of the body can crush those sensitive areas. Is that what the literature says?
I believe so. I know that's the message given. I'm not sure the exact wording, but that's the intent.
Thank you. Now, when we talked about the device, if 2 probes or 2 points make contact with an individual, the arc switch is touched, or perhaps if it's already been expelled, or the trigger is pulled, the electricity, the current moves for 5 seconds. Is that right?
If there's a connection, the current will flow for 5 seconds, but I guess better said is that both cartridges would be activated or energized for a 5-second duration.
And at the conclusion of that 5 seconds, if I push the arc button again or I pull the trigger again, the device would again, so long as a connection was made, it would go for another 5 seconds. Is that right?
That's correct.
So, sir, just in conclusion here, I think we've already hit these topics, but even after both cartridges are deployed, the Taser 7 maintains the ability to re-energize all 4 probes by simply pressing the arc switch or pulling the trigger. Is that fair to say?
That's correct.
And even after both cartridges are deployed, it still maintains its ability to drive stun someone. Is that correct?
That's correct.
And we talked about the drive stun can work in conjunction with contact with even one probe to close a circuit and potentially cause NMI?
Correct. One probe or even one wire.
Thank you very much, Mr. Shiles.
Thank you, Mr. Dodge. Mr. Becker?
Just real brief, just so I'm clear, I want to make clear, there was 2 discharges here. The first one completely missed everything. It didn't hit anything, is what your testimony is, by watching the video and by looking at the logs of the taser weapon. Is that correct?
Technically, they hit something, the ground or sidewalk or something, but they did not hit the subject.
Okay. The second one, if you can pull up Exhibit 6, I believe, the one before this, or 7, excuse me. The second one, now they've talked about a bunch of recharge and it could recharge and everything. The second one, this is the second deployment, if you will. Is that correct?
Correct.
And this second deployment was right next to both of them. I mean, within inches, if you will, from the photo. Is that correct?
Yes, it was deployed into the ground right next to them.
And you watched the video. Did you see any indication that anybody was suffering from NMI, or there was any implication, any reaction that taser was having any impact on either Mr. Lyoya or the officer?
No, during the struggle, I did not see indication of NMI.
They continued to struggle after this, didn't they?
Well, yeah, there was even a struggle after the struggle continued after the second cartridge was deployed.
Okay, thank you. I have nothing further.
I just, well, Mr. Dodge?
Sir, just to clarify, regardless of whether there had not been any NMI yet, with both persons, I think the prosecutor said within inches of this, if either one of them were to come in contact with the probes that were already expelled, or even the wire, if it were 2 probes or 2 wires, the trigger gets pulled, the button gets pressed, the circuit could close, and that could potentially cause NMI. Is that correct?
That's correct. The potential was there.
So it's, even though neither one of them may have experienced NMI, the risk was still there, given these conditions, that based on the re-energizing of the probes, that there was still risk that NMI could result. Is that right?
That's right. I'll clarify. As long as the cartridges are still installed into the handle, the potential for NMI is there, especially with a struggle going on and people moving around. The potential is there.
Thank you very much.
Mr. Becker?
Nothing wrong.
I have a couple questions that I'd like to ask the witness.
This is the judge asking questions.
The wire, and I think you testified, is this, the wire generally stays connected to the probe and connects the probe and the, what do we call it, the gun, the trigger?
That's correct. The wire is physically tied to the probe and physically tied to the cartridge on the other end.
Okay, do we know here whether it remained tied at all times? whether it came undone?
I do not I believe at some point probes were disconnected. There was still wire attached to the probe, but I would have to look at my photos again. But I believe probes were eventually broken from the wire.
Okay. Now, you talked about the potential that that physical contact with the wire under certain circumstances could complete the circuit. The wire is insulated. Is that correct?
My point there is if there's a flaw in the insulation. So even stepping on the wire can break the insulation. So if the wire is fully insulated, the electricity should not travel through it. However, being such thin wire and in a dynamic situation, there's a risk.
Okay. But just if the wire is intact and fully insulated, that wouldn't be enough to complete the circuit. You would have to have a tear or a rip or exposure in the conductive material, or in the insulation over the conductive material. Is that right?
That's correct.
Okay.
That's correct.
And then if there was damage,
Here.
conductive material was exposed, if that conductive material came in contact with skin, that could release the full charge that has the potential of causing the NMI. Is that correct?
Partially, but you're talking about contact with skin. So you don't even need contact. It just needs to be close enough to arc over.
Okay. But the face of the trigger itself, the face of the gun itself, I guess what I'm trying to understand is if this wire, if exposed, if the conductive material is exposed, it could emit the full charge. Why is it, or how is it that the contact with the gun itself only creates this drive stun as opposed to a full charge?
I'm not sure I understand.
If the wire was severed, for example, 2 or 3 inches from the face of the gun, am I using the right phraseology?
We stay away from gun.
Okay. What do you call the
Weapon.
What do you call the base?
It's the handle.
The handle. Okay. If both probes are discharged, the wire on each probe was severed at 3 or 4 inches from the base. If there was exposure in the conductive material, that could emit the full charge. Is that correct?
If both wires of the probes is severed several inches from the handle, your only potential to deliver charge would be at the front of the handle to the end of the wires. At that point, the probes would not be active or energized because the wire is severed.
Once the wire is severed, you can't get the charge through the wire itself. You have to have a probe connected.
Well, what I'm saying is if you completely sever the wire, you break that circuit. And so if you sever the wire completely, like you took scissors and snipped it and threw the rest away, that part that is not attached to the weapon anymore would not be energized, and that would not have potential to deliver charge.
Okay, let me ask. Maybe I asked it this way: there's 2 probes. That's not the right. There are 2 leads for each probe. Is that correct? I'm thinking electricity and a negative and a positive and a flow like that. Is that?
Yeah, that's a good way to picture it. Is you have a top probe and a bottom probe. You can picture one is positive and one is negative.
Okay.
They need to complete.
If the wire got severed somewhere along the line, and both of those wires, not both of the probes, but both the positive and the negative lead, there was exposure of the conductive material, And if both of those touched scan or came close, would that deliver the charge, even though the probe is now disconnected?
Yes.
Okay, so at some point, the wires have to attach to the internal mechanism in the remote, in the handle, correct?
Yes, and they are attached via the cartridge that's installed in the weapon. So the wire is physically attached to the cartridge, which is plugged into the handle. So if you have wires, if you have your handle and wires hanging out, when you activate the weapon, those wires would be activated.
Okay, but at some point, inside the probe, the wires, there's a transition from wire to metal.
Correct.
Okay, and then on the other side, in the handle itself, there's got to be a transition from wire to metal.
Correct.
Okay, let's say the wires came apart at the joint, in the solder joint in the handle. I mean, is that a fair characterization of it?
That could be, yes.
Okay, if that came apart at that point, can that handle still emit the type of charge that would cause NMI?
If all the wires were removed?
Yes. Okay. So the only way, so a connection with the handle itself, assuming all the wires are intact and assuming that the probes are feet away, the connection with the handle itself only creates a drive stun. Is that correct?
That's correct. If the probes and wires are away, then the potential is drive stun.
And a drive stun cannot cause NMI?
It can't cause NMI, correct,
Okay,
in that situation.
okay. Mr. Becker, any
Nothing
follow-up?
further, Your Honor.
All right, Mr. Dodge, any follow-up?
Just to make sure that the court understands all that last portion there, the drive stun could cause NMI in conjunction with contact from one probe or potentially wire. Is that correct?
Correct. In the situation that the judge was talking about was if all the wires were removed, but if you still had one wire connected, then a drive stun could potentially cause NMI.
And the drive stun alone, no wires, the drive stun alone to certain portions of the body, axon warns, can cause serious injury. Is that correct?
That's correct. And I'll give, for instance, the eyeball can cause serious injury, discharging into an eyeball.
And sir, we're actually going to have another witness to talk more about this, and I know it's, but so I plan to go into it with them. But the drive stun can crush the trachea as well. Is that what axon warns?
Yes. Well, pretty much any object pressed on the trachea can crush it. Taser weapons, no exception.
And drive stun in the axon warning can crush genitals. Is that correct?
Correct.
And there's also warnings on using the drive stun on the back of the neck area. Is that another warning?
Yeah, well, pretty much the entire head is a no-no. That's where we advise not to use it.
And sir, we can see from right there on that picture, drive stun, both of these individuals here are, would it be fair to say they're within arm's length of each other? Arm's reach. And basically with a drive stun, just to make sure the court understands, you reach out and you make contact with a target, or you press the target to deliver a drive stun by simply pressing the button on the side or pulling the trigger. Is that correct?
That's correct.
Okay. Thank you.
All right, Mr. Becker, anything further?
No, Your Honor.
All right. All right. Thank you very much, Mr. Childs. I think the witness can be excused at this point. All right.
All right. Thank you for
sir.
the opportunity to do this remotely.
Absolutely. Thank you.
Take care.
In the latest example of, here, real quick, in the latest example of cancel culture, the left has now continued their campaign at burying Kanye West in a sea of destruction from the left. It seems that Kanye West's school, the Donda Academy, a private Christian academy, has been forced to shut down, fucking over all of those poor students. That is real. Unfucking believable.
Yeah. Would that be satisfactory, Mr. Becker? Any issue with that?
The court's discretion, Your Honor.
All right. Then we will we'll adjourn now. We'll reconvene at 2 p.m. Thank you, everyone.
Well, shit, what the fuck am I supposed to do for the next hour and 45 minutes?
You know, and I think we're still at capacity. What we'll do after lunch is it's still a first come, first serve. So if you're here now,
Who's that young
it doesn't
kid there?
necessarily guarantee that you would have access to the courtroom if other folks were in line. All right, just so everyone knows. Okay, thank you all.
All right, so court is in session. Actually, court's on recess. So this is the case of Christopher Schurr. It was a 7-year veteran of the Grand Rapids Police Department. When back in April, he attempted to pull over a vehicle that had fraudulent license plates on said vehicle. When he attempted to pull over said vehicle, he did pull over. The driver, identified as Patrick Lyoya, he was a immigrant from, I don't remember what country. But anyway, this Patrick fella got out of the car. They were like, why'd you get out of the car? He's like, because I got out of the car. He didn't say anything, really. He just kept saying, I'm not resisting, while he resisted arrest for approximately about 5 to 10 minutes. At which time, Officer Schurr attempted to place him into custody several times for not following instructions. At which time, Patrick Lyoya decided to try to resist arrest by struggling with the officer. The taser was deployed, as you just heard testimony of, several times. That it turned into a ground and pound situation, and the officer, fearing for his life, pulled out his service revolver and shot Patrick Lyoya in the back of the head while he was on top of him. Now, I remember watching that video when I was there, and I didn't really clearly understand why he would have shot him in the back of the head while being on top of him, but he did, and those are known. That is a known fact. However, I didn't know that he was charged with second-degree murder in this case, which is kind of crazy, because I didn't know that. And kind of, I guess we would expect that he would have been charged with murder, because, the woke policies of the left and the far-right policies of the right tend to clash, and the people that are affected the most by them are not the people in the left. They're not the people on the far right. You know what they are? Everyday Americans, like this officer. So this officer is now fighting for his life in a court system. This case is an interesting one, because what do you do as a police officer in America? Do you simply bow down and take it? Like Darryl Brooks is probably taking it right now. Is that what you do? Is that where we are as Americans? Is that what we do? Hold on, I'm just going to see. There's a live courtroom feed. But is that what you do? You just bow down, drop the liquid soap, and take it? No. You have to fucking shit. This feed ended too. Wow, what is this? Here, we'll just leave this up. I have no idea what this is. This is Blinken's interview with Peggy Coggins. I don't want to hear that shit either. Wow. Unbelievable. This has been quite the morning so far. This hearing is still going on. What are they talking about? Let's listen.
Of our agenda, proposed amendments to 37 TAC.
Now, see, this is the Texas whatever. Let's see what else is going on. That meeting comes back at 2 o'clock. And I don't know whether I'm still going to cover it. There is a White House press gaggle today. Gaggle. But that's not right now. That's not until 1:15 p.m. And I don't tend to air the gaggles. Gaggle. I try not to air them because they're boring as fuck. You know what I should do? I should play video games. But I'm not going to. Or maybe I will. I don't know. It doesn't look like there's a lot of hearings right now. What else is there that I can put on right now? I'm trying to see if there's any other videos. Public order emergency something. What is this? Examining the federal government's use of the Emergencies Act. Huh? Oh, is this is the Canada thing. The Canada thing. Someone said, is Brooks back in court on Monday? Yeah, he is. He's going to be back in court at 1:30 Monday afternoon. To which time, and we probably won't air that because it's going to be boring. It's just, they're just going to go over the time that's needed by the state and the defense to present witnesses. Not witnesses, witnesses. Try to say that 5 times fast. You can't. It's a tongue twister. What else is there going on? Oh, here's a question. For anyone that hasn't got a shipping notice yet for your mega box, if you have a large, an extra large, a double XL, a triple XL, because all the mediums and the smalls have already been packaged, and you haven't got a shipping notice and you've been waiting on it forever, I'm going to get those boxes out, but I do have a question. If you are waiting on one of those boxes and you will accept whole bean coffee, please send me an email right now because I need to know and I'm going to run out of coffee and I want to get these boxes out to you and I don't want to have to wait anymore. So I have the shirts, I have the gear and the mug and I got all that shit. The only thing I don't have is enough coffee. So if you'll accept whole bean, please send me an email right now. Otherwise, I may just send whole bean out anyway and just make you guys fucking go buy a grinder or something. Unknown user on Facebook said, haha, what's happening here? Nothing. What's happening with you? Which you? You know? I don't know what you're talking about. I don't know who you are. I got followed by a liberal on Twitter. Casey Miller. Resist the GOP hashtag free thinking, hate fighting, blue voting, man loving, cat spooling, cranky old dude. Dumbass. You know what I'm saying? What else? The video of Brooks pounding the table and glaring at the judge when she said it's scared is everywhere. Now the jury can really see how he is. Yes, we know that. Yes, my precious. Actually, you know what we could do? Did I close that window? Let's go back to the text. Fuck, I gotta switch the overlays again. Oh yeah, we'll go back and we'll play this from where we before. Yeah, nope, that's not it. Is this it? No, that's this one. What about this? Nope, that's my little face. How about this? Nope. How about this one? Nope. How about this one? Nope. Well, yeah. Or this one. No. Okay, so let's go here. Bam. Texas Commission holds hearing on Uvalde shooting. Remember this? This was this hearing this morning. We're going to just replay it because we missed all of the commentary from the adults. The adults in the room. Most of these people are parents. This is going to make you very emotional. I did listen to some of it prior to talking about it. Hey, I got a question for Tim Pool. Why do you keep copying everything I tweet? Like, get good, bruh. He, like, literally tweets after me the same thing I tweeted. It's like 5 times today. It's fucking bullshit. Fucking bullshit. Except I don't... How many followers does he have, this son of a bitch? 1.3 million? Holy shit. I don't have 1.3 million. A woman said she was arrested for her good looks, allegedly killed her mom. Ew. Gross. If I do make my daily goal of, which I'm probably not going to tonight, I kind of hope I don't, to be honest, so I can have a night off. I'm going to talk about a story out of New York. Everyone talked about Jose Aldo. Remember him? He was the bodega owner that defended himself when he was being attacked, killing his attacker, stabbing him. And he was charged by Alvin Braggs, who is the Manhattan DA. And Alvin Bragg has been a big focus on Fox News all the time. They always talk about him, right? His liberal policies and all that shit. Well, it turns out Alvin Bragg campaigned on dropping the charges of a woman that is currently being well, she's not in jail, but she's currently being charged with murder for stabbing her husband to death. She's been charged with murder for killing her, well, I guess estranged husband when he was drunk and tried to break into her apartment. When police found her, she was doing CPR on him. Except police actually, this guy was super drunk and they were fighting and there was threats and there's all this evidence to prove that this woman was battered by this man previously and was deathly afraid of him. And Alvin Bragg actually campaigned on releasing and dropping the charges of this woman. And he didn't. Her name is Tracy McCarters. So I'll probably talk about her case a little bit tonight because it's really weird. Fox News isn't talking about Tracy McCarter. Do you know why they're not talking about Tracy McCarter? I'll be honest with you, because she is a flaming leftist. She is very much on the left. But they're not addressing this. They talked about Jose Aldo, right? They talked about that in length. A guy that was defending himself when he was being beaten. But a woman that clearly aligns with left-leaning politics stabs her husband as he's attempting, well, allegedly, breaking into her apartment while steaming drunk for the second time that day. And when police arrived, they found her trying to do CPR to keep him alive because she was a nurse. She's not allowed to be a nurse anymore. Isn't that crazy? Someone said, since it's not pronounced exponentially. What? God Rides a Harley said it's pronounced boo dagga. No, it's called poo dagga. Yeah. It's crazy. April, you should look into that too. That story. Her name is Tracy McCarter. She's gotten some news lately. There was an article written yesterday by Reason, which is the article that I found. But, yeah, I just can't believe that what I can't believe is that Fox News didn't even mention that as anything. They didn't even talk about that. They still are not. Her trial is scheduled now. She shouldn't even be charged. In fact, Alvin Bragg literally campaigned. He tweeted, #FreeTracy. No joke. He tweeted that while he was running for office. Then he gets office and he's like, haha, fuck you. Ay. It's crazy. Someone said it's pronounced boo daga. No, it's pronounced shut the fuck up. Don't tell me how to say shit. I'm a gangster. I'm a gangster radish. Turn up. Fuck, you guys all suck. You just made me say I'm a radish. You all suck. Unbelievable. I identify as a unicorn. Unbelievable. I don't know if I can handle watching this. I don't really want to. It's rough, man. You're gonna hear that guy that's wearing the hat with the black t-shirt that has the letters in the right. He's a father of one of the victims in the Uvalde shooting. It's sad, man. It's sad. It's sad. Bobby is really trying to get me to go out to Indiana or Ohio or wherever the fuck he is and spit on his donuts. He's talking shit. Bobby, you fucking kid, you. Deplorable Chicken Head said, I can't take it when you laugh. I'm trying to order. Yeah, it just won't let me. Yeah. Fascist radish. Oh, that's going to be my nemesis. Yeah. I can't change it from turnip to radish because I already paid to have the designer design the virtual reality thing. So it's a little late. But maybe once I'm rich, I'll have them and I'll call it the fascist radish and they'll be dressed in black bloc and then we'll have a virtual combat death. Yeah, should be funny. And if it's not funny, I don't care. I think it's funny. Someone said, I like radishes. They're good for gout. You fucking weirdos. You're just stupid. Someone said, do I have a turnip hoodie? No, I got to get the official design. Do you see how bad this one is on the screen? It's because I ripped it off. So you guys want to see what my design is going to kind of look like, not in color? Watch, I'll show you. I got the thing this morning at 5 o'clock in the morning. The image. Can I download? Yes, I can. I chose number A, just in case you don't know. Yeah, number A is what I chose. That's gonna be me. But then it's gonna be in color and all that shit later. You know what I'm saying? Fuck yeah. Fuck yeah. It should be fun. Should be fun. What does the turnip say? Right now, you have time to create now. Create it. Let's go. I already did it. I know. All of you guys are like, what the fuck? Yeah, it's called the angry fucking turnip, bro. Of course it's supposed to look angry. It's called the angry turnip. Does not look dope, though. Okay, it looks like he's wearing a mask, though. It's fucking badass, dude. My wife is like, you're fucking stupid. I'm like, I don't care. I think it's brilliant. Number A. Yep. Number A. That is right. I'm always right. Once I get the like actual designs, yeah, I'll make some hoodies and shit. I like it. I think it's funny. What time is it? I think I'm gonna just go to bed. Just call it a day right now. Oh, shout out to Vicky. She's watching. She said, do you have flying high whole bean? Does a bear shit in the woods? Yes, it does. So, yeah. Oh, wait. What? No. If so, can I exchange the ones below from Pure Truth? No. Oh, is this order still out? What? What the fuck is going on? You can't exchange coffee when it's sent to you. What the fuck? What are you asking here? Try to exchange shit. Did I not send your coffee? Is that what it is? Have you guys noticed with Gratis Cafe, I ship that shit fucking fast. I am going to make a new thing so you can have not... Oh, yeah, so your flying high day gets sent out. Okay, Vicky, if you're listening, I'll send out your coffee today. Look at that shit. You even got the mug, but you didn't get coffee. What the fuck? What the fuck? What the... I like that song. I wrote that. It's copywritten, though. Is it whole bean? Boop, 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 doo. Do, 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 do. Scooby-doo, ba-ba-doo, ba-doom, boom, doom, boom, da-ba-doom, ba-doom. Scooby-doo-ba-da, boop-ba-doo. All right. Anyway, what the fuck was I talking about? Is a voice on purpose? I'm LMAO. What is your face on purpose? I'm LFAMO. Deplorable chicken head, Steve said. Or Steve, if I order ground coffee, how many months is it going to take to get it? About 1 to 7 days. So what I'm going to end up doing is, because right now we offer free shipping on everything. And I'm going with the cheapest shipping route, which is still expensive because fucking UPS sucks balls. So yeah, what I'm gonna do, what I'm gonna do is I'm gonna put a faster shipping option, and it will just be priority 2-day with USPS, which you could pay for if you want. So, you know what I'm saying? But I didn't do that yet, so you can wait if you want. Sue Parker said, Steve, how long can you keep unopened packages of coffee before it spoils? For fucking months. Me, I like fresh coffee, and by the way, I'm the angry turnip. But I like fresh coffee. So typically I try 30 days, but you can have coffee for a year. Like you think you're buying Maxwell House of Folgers and it hasn't been sitting in a warehouse for fucking a year? Come on. You know what I'm saying? But Kate said you got your coffee in one day. Yeah, I know. I kind of fucking miscalculated some shit, but whatever. You might, anyone that with the free shipping, I'm just gonna take time to send it out now. I may fucking deliver that shit in person if I could save money. Think about it. I sent out 10 bags today with the average price of $5 a bag. It's bullshit. Bobby Griffin said Folgers is good coffee. Okay, ban that fucking loser. No, I'm just kidding. Don't really ban him, but you're annoying me. Sue said, thanks, Steve. I have a few bags, but they're unopened. I want to make K-Cups. Thanks. You can send it in the freezer. Put your coffee in the freezer, and they'll be fine. But in all reality, they should just be stored in a cool, dry place. You shouldn't really put it... Well, some people say you could freeze it. I believe a cool, dry place is the best place for them and not frozen because you lose some of those, things. Angel Rafter said, I'm hoping my coffee shows up today. Did you get a shipping notice? Angel? Huh? You want me to check for you right now? And if you're like the lady that did a chargeback and then fucking stole my coffee because it was delivered yesterday and PayPal just awarded her a chargeback. Yeah. Jane, I believe your name was, you shithead. Yeah. Luckily, it didn't cost me anything. So you're lucky. Angel, what was your fucking name? Angel? Oh, fuckers. Angel Rifted. Nope, I can't look you up because you're using a fake name. It's under Mary G. Oh, well, that's why I couldn't look it up. Mary G. Yeah, I see your last name. You ordered October 5th, 2 days ago. Yeah, your shit's on transit right now. It's currently moving through the UPS network in Roanoke, Virginia. Scheduled to be delivered to you by 9 p.m. tomorrow, Friday, October 28th, 2022. It arrived at the UPS or USPS facility in Roanoke, Virginia on October 27th, 2022 at 10:25 a.m. It's currently in transit to the destination. God Rides wants an update too? Man. Bullshit. You don't get no fucking updates. I don't remember your fucking name. Asshole. Ken. Let's say I don't remember. Fuck, I remember everything. Your shit's in transit too. Yours is in the Merrifield, Virginia Distribution Center. Scheduled for delivery Saturday, October 29th, 2022 by 9 p.m. Donda Academy is open again? Says what? Says who? I don't think it is. I just read stories. Becky said, I think I'm going to identify as an angry cactus. Yeah, that's when I officially change the YouTube page. If I do that, all of you guys have to, like all of the members, you got to be an angry, like plant or vegetable or fruit. That's going to be the qualifiers in order to be like one of us. You know? Cassie said TMZ said it. Huh. European officials believe Russia lost another nuclear submarine. It sunk it? Yeah, I don't know. Just now, they said? It's fair to say nobody gives a fuck. Or maybe they do, but that's okay. Boo-da-da-boo. Skip-it-doo. Shit-it. You like my song? I think it's fucking beautiful. It's a beautiful song. I fell asleep with a quart of ice cream once, said hypocrisy sucks. Did you? You both filled my hearts. Oh, well, you filled my farts. All right. I think I'm just gonna go home. I really do. I think I'm gonna go home. Climate activists arrested after throwing soup at Blackstone founder home and blocking the entrance to 740 Park Avenue in Upper East Side, Manhattan. I think I do. Someone said, what about order 132? We don't do ATs. Is that even one of my orders? Yeah, that's you. Your shit's also in transit. Your expected delivery is Friday, October 28th, 2022, by 9 p.m. Your product is currently in Greensboro, North Carolina at the distribution center there, where it arrived this morning, October 27th, 2022 at 9:53 a.m. Your product is currently in transport. You know what I'm saying? No, Bobby Griffith, you gotta be the angry donut, bro. You know what I mean? Kev said, note to self, me draw a turnip shitbird. Yeah, I mean, I said you could draw something yesterday, but you were all like, no. So I had to go the professional route and then I selected A. See? Isn't that fucking dope? It doesn't really look like a turnip because the face is a little too round. You know what I mean? It should have like came down like that, but whatever. It's still cool. It's still cool. Lots of veins. The turnip veins. It's gonna be dope. I'm excited. I'm excited. 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 Deplorable chicken head. Everyone's like, the voice. I don't like the voice. I don't care. I have to make this fun for me, otherwise I'm not going to do it. And I'll be honest, I feel free. Free. I want to fly away. Don't know where my home is. Don't know where my soul is. Baby, you mean I'm like a bird. I'm like a beat. What else? Play Brooks' music video? No, I don't. Deplorable chicken head. Steve, where can I find your hoodies, etc. at, oh my god, not on your coffee page? Yeah, they're not there. And I'm not telling you because I have to upload all new stuff and I'm just not ready yet. Hopefully I'll have that store completely done and updated by Monday. And it should be amazing. And you'll love it. Bubba is in the chat. Yeah, by Monday I should have the other store open for all the political shirts and shit. What do you guys think? You think I should take the day off and say fuck the world? It's not really taking the day off because it's 12:41 and I've been in the office since 6 o'clock in the morning, but I kind of feel like taking the day and just laying down and relaxing, watching some Blacklist because it used to be bad, but it's kind of good now. I kind of like it. Will there be turn-up shirts or hoodies? Yeah, probably. Because it's funny, because then I could be super outrageous. Here's the thing, is now I can say shit and, like, not worry about, like, getting recognized and maybe after a while, people will forget my face and they'll just think, holy shit, this weird voice is a turnip. You know what I mean? It's gonna be good. April said only if I can too. Yeah, go ahead. You have your own permission as the editor of Citizen Stringer to go to bed. Although, you know what happens, April. The news is gonna fucking explode the second you try to just, like, walk away for a second. Unbelievable. Look, that's a good one, Bobby. I like that. Now just change your name to the Angry Donut on YouTube, and then you're good to go. Fuck yeah. God Rides a Harley said I should go. Yeah, I think so. Gra said he could get his hoodie store up today, but he really wants the day off. Yeah, I know. Because what? Why am I gonna go through all that effort just to sell like 5 hoodies? There's no fucking point. I'd rather do it and do like a big product launch, right? So instead, I'll order all the hoodies. I'll have them here. You guys do the order, and then bada boom. I'm gonna get special like poly bags that have the angry turnip face on it. It's gonna be a whole brand. I'm gonna do ad spots for fucking Verizon. Do you need a cell phone? Check out Verizon.com. They suck ass. You know what I'm saying? What else? Steve's alter ego, the angry turnip. Yeah. I don't know. It's just something different. It breaks the monotony of this whole thing. And to be honest, here's my plan. You want to hear my I'm not even going to tell you my master plan. Just one day you're going to see it. It's going to be amazing. I'm like a bird. I only fly away. I don't know where my home is. I don't know where my soul lives. Baby, I'm a. If you're over 18, you gotta socially distance outside for social media. What the fuck does that even mean? Fucking politicians are stupid. I was thinking, how funny would it be if I could actually get people to come on my show and do interviews where I'm a cartoon character? Wouldn't that be funny? Someone said, as soon as this free coffee thing is going to kick off. Yeah, we're hoping for the first of the new year. Because my wife gave me a really good idea last night. She's like, listen, you got 9 different roasts. She's like, just alternate 4 of those roasts. You don't need any specialty coffee or anything. Just do those roasts. So many people are going to come in anyway for free coffee. It's like a beer garden, but instead of beer, it's coffee. And you don't have to pay for it. It's free. And I'm like, that's what everybody's been telling me. It's a pretty good idea. Maybe I should just fucking listen to the people. You know what I'm saying? Lisa has written the same comment at least twice in the chat, which is weird. I don't know why people do that. Is the angry turnip going to run for office at some point? No. Not the angry turnip. Maybe his alter ego. Maybe that's the whole reason why he's trying to get his face off of all this political commentary. You never know. You never know. Because then they'd be like, oh, well, he's the voice of the angry turnip on YouTube. And I'll be like, well, that's not who I am. That's just an act. And they'll be like, bullshit. And I'll be like, oh, so are you calling Robert De Niro gangsta? Or Sylvester Stallone a ex-military maniac that goes out and kills people in the woods? No, you're not. Why? Because they're acting. I'm just acting on this show. They'd be like, but you believe what you're saying. It doesn't matter. Who gives a fuck? Who gives a fuck? I wrote that song. Bum 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 ba-doo. Skibbity boo. Man, it's boring for a Thursday. All right, guys. So, I'm just gonna turn this off. I'm gonna go to bed. I literally am just gonna go and just lay down and spend the day watching television. Oh, you know what? I also gotta pay fucking bills. Oh. Dude, a dude from Grand Rapids that sent me an email. Should I now stay live for 2 o'clock? Or just come back live at 2 o'clock? Fuck. Angry Donut said, isn't that... He did change his name. You fucking rock. Should I just make it official and change my YouTube name to the Angry Turnip? Should I just do it? Oregon police had a drug bust. Yeah, the guy was sleeping, wasn't he? Enough fentanyl to kill 4 million people? Yes, plus other drugs. Yes. Yeah, wasn't he sleeping in his vehicle with all that drugs? I believe so. Deplorable chicken said, make up my man. My mind. My man. Oh, man. Who is the guy from Grand Rapids emailing you? None of your damn business. But now I feel like I have an obligation to show this trial because probably no one else ever will. All right, so maybe I'll be back live at 2 o'clock. Maybe I'll just sit here at my desk, watch an episode of... Because here's the thing. I was in here this morning and I was packing all these orders, and that shit wears you down. And I don't want to keep drinking soda because it doesn't appear that I'm going to be able to do a night show tonight because we haven't even come close to reaching our streaming goal. And so I don't want to drink soda because then I'm not going to fall asleep till like 11 o'clock tomorrow. You know what I'm saying? That's how it works. You know? Let me talk to my alter ego, Steve, and see what he thinks. Because he may want to go home, you know? No, I'm just kidding. Maybe I'll stay. But I just got an email. And that person was watching on my channel, which is something. Someone said order some food. I just ate lunch. I bring food with me. For lunch. Not for dinner, but for lunch. Change your name to Angry Turnip. Don't tell me what to do, Michelle. Okay? I've had about enough of people telling me what to do. Like you guys own me. Like you control me. Like I'm your bitch. I ain't no tomato. I'm a fucking turnip. I'm not gonna do that. Not yet. Soon. Maybe. Someone said, I thought you meant someone was emailing you, messing with you. No. No, no, no. All right, so I'll come back at 2 o'clock. So tune back in at 2 o'clock. You will not get a notification. So if you're watching on social media, just come back to the page at 2 o'clock. All right.